Hello, and today I am making a non-dairy yellow cheese sauce. I will do nut-free and soy-free later. Because I'm using a gas stove, I always heat my water on the kettle, then bring it over. Once my water starts to get up to a boil, I'll be ready to add things. I'm going to start by activating my hing, which is what I use in place of like onion or garlic. In goes half a cup of cashews. I'm going to use a whole can of chickpeas that I've rinsed, but I'm going to cook them further in this water. Any other kind of bean would work. You also want to throw in a carrot for color and some butteriness. My spices are half a teaspoon of hing, half a teaspoon of turmeric, half a teaspoon of black pepper, and a fourth teaspoon of salt. And then I'm going to add a bay leaf to the water. That's totally optional. It just helps to bring out those natural flavors. I am going to put in a fourth teaspoon of baking soda so that everything gets tender and soft, and I will skim off the foam because I will be reserving some of that water, and skimming off the foam will help with the flavor and texture when I add it in later. So here I am just reserving some of that water. It's about somewhere between a third of 3/4 of a cup and a cup of that water. I'm just using that to help get the consistency that I want. So all of it goes into my food processor. If you have a high-speed food processor, you might be able to skip the boiling step. I'm going to add in half a cup of nutritional yeast, which is the first component to making a non-dairy cheese. I'm going to be adding in again that boiling liquid just to help with the consistency. If you like it really thick, then you don't have to, add that. So I'm going to be blending along the way and scraping down the sides as I'm adding things so that I get the consistency that I want. I'm going to go ahead and add in all of my spices at once and then go ahead and add in the rest of the ingredients. I'm going to be adding in half a cup of plant-based milk. I usually use either soy or pea milk. I'm using pea today, but you can use whatever works for you. I'm also going to be adding in 1 tablespoon of tapioca starch, which will help with thickening, but mostly it's going to give it a nice melty feel when I heat this up later. You can also use cornstarch. It's not as effective for the melting. 2 tablespoons of lemon juice and 2 tablespoons of miso are the other two essential ingredients for that cheesy flavor. If you have access to lactic acid, you can use that, but these are the items that are readily available to me. So again, continue blending and scraping down the sides until I get the consistency that I want. And then when I'm ready, I jar it up. I made quite a bit, and I've got me some cheese sauce.